Hello there, going to have another look at another game that I played. This is again a 3-minute Blitz game which was in the under 2000 Super Blitz Arena, and I won this game against a higher rated opponent who had berserked me. So you get 3 minutes here with no increment. If you berserk someone, you forgo half your time, so you've got to play twice as quick as your opponent, but you get some extra points if you win. So he had 1.5 minutes and I had 3 minutes, and the actual game didn't go down to time at all. Didn't last that long at all. It lasted about 3 minutes total. So as normal, I start with my king's pawn and he plays the Scandinavian defence, which is the most forcing line from black. I don't like to take this pawn and go into a game that he wants. I like to play a game that I want. So my normal response is to bring the knight out, and after pawn takes, put my knight here. This is the Tennyson gambit. It's got a couple of options. If he wants to attack my knight, I simply retake the pawn. If he wants to defend this pawn somehow, like this for instance, I can attack the pawn, which if he takes, I've got a nice bit of development here, and there's lots of tactics which can be had. A few different lines of this. If instead of taking, he can, he's got a few other candidate moves. Bring the bishop out. I attack again. Lots of different lines in that. Anyway, it's a game that I quite like. Whether you lose the pawn or not, you seem to have a good game. So we didn't go down that route. I just threw a blank for some reason. I just played this move, which is not the way I normally play it, and he takes, and I offer him another pawn, which is a common tactic. Offer up some pawns at the beginning. If he takes this, I get my knight out. If he takes this one, I get my bishop out. So it's a way just to get fast development, which is what you want in these less than sound speed games. You just want your pieces acting. So try and get a bit of a grip on the centre. Some fairly natural moves here. So at this stage, we've both got a queen and a knight, and we've both got a couple of rooks. He's up one pawn, and his pawn structure is better than mine. I'm not liking my king much. He's trapped here. I've got some issues. And I decide that I'm going to attack this side of the board where there's some weakness. And I really want to do something about this pawn. So I'm thinking of taking it with my knight. Then he makes this forcing move with the knight. So now he's attacking this rook and this rook at the same time. I've got no escape square because of this pawn. So I've got a few options. I could take the pawn with the knight. That gives me this square. It also defends this rook. But then I'm going to lose the exchange with this one. But this actually kind of reminds me of another chess puzzle that I've done. Doing these chess puzzles does help you with your tactics a little bit. I'm thinking, if I attack this rook and this rook takes me, this rook's going to be undefended and I'll be able to call check. So it's actually slight miscalculation on my part. You haven't got the time really to think these things through fully when you're playing Blitz. You just have to go by instinct a bit. So I move this rook. I'm still protecting this rook, so there's no imminent checkmate on the horizon. When he takes, rather than just take back, I think I can slip this move in between and call check. Now he could have brought this rook back, and if he had done, I've got to do something about this checkmate. Here, the queen can come in, take the rook, and I've got nowhere to go. So I've either got to defend the rook, or I've got to take this rook and call check and then defend the rook. So this was a blunder on my part, but it actually turns out for the best, because he doesn't withdraw this rook as he should do. He moves the king, and that gives me the opportunity to call that check, still defending the checkmate square, and says that that's the way he should have escaped. If he goes there, I'll probably call check with my queen, and when he moves I'll take his queen because that's the danger piece, and I'll try and win the game on time. He's got 22 seconds remaining, I've got 1 minute 40 remaining, so that doesn't happen. He moves, and now this is checkmate because the knight defends this square. I don't actually see that knight as defense of that square, so I play it this way in 2 moves instead of 1, but that's checkmate. So that was a bit of a turnaround on a game against a higher rated player by some almost 400 points. The graph looks like this. I'm behind except for a few little spikes most of the way, and this is where he's missed bringing that rook back. If he brought the rook back, I would have been in trouble. Because he doesn't, the game shifts my way. So that's how quickly these things can change. You can win from losing positions, and you can lose from winning positions. Thanks for watching.